Okay, so this is the third and final video lesson I'm making for you today, and it's on plotting graphs. It's connected to the coordinates one. If you've got a good understanding of coordinates, you'll find this much easier, but this is a step up in terms of difficulty. Okay, so you've got to really concentrate on this one. You might have understood absolutely everything in the coordinates ones before I said it, and you could have done the homeworks without any help at all. But this one, I get the feeling that it's going to be really useful that you listen to this, perhaps go through it yourself, perhaps listen to it again, perhaps you'll still have to ask some questions. But we're going to look at recognizing coordinate patterns and rules and equations for the coordinates that fall in a line. So it's starting to do drawing graphs, not just making shapes of coordinates, but drawing lines and getting equations for them. So let's begin. So what do you notice about these coordinates? Well, what I would say is they're all in a row. Yes? Okay? And that's what most people would say. But if we think about it a little bit further and we look at the coordinates of them, what do you notice about the coordinates? So forget the line exists for a second. Just look at the coordinates. Tell me what's in common with all of those. It's this second point, isn't it? They're all fives. So all those points are fives, and all those points are the y coordinate. So this is the line y equals 5. So the y coordinate has to be 5 for all of them. So does this line the line? No, that's a 9, so it can't be. Well, if 12 something is on the line, it's got to be 12, 5. Okay, so the equation of this line is going to be y equals 5 because the y coordinate is always 5. Right, so something a little bit harder. Now you can see they all fall in a straight line, but it's a diagonal one. So how do we do this one? Because we don't have something as simple as all the y coordinates are 5. So if we write out the coordinates and just try to see some sort of a connection, what do you notice if you want to go from the first one to the second one? What do you have to do? If you want to go from -2 to -5, what do you have to do? If you want to go from -1 to -4, what do you have to do? If you want to go from 0 to -3, what do you have to do? If you want to go from 1 to -2, what do you have to do? You've got to take away 3, haven't you? Okay, so you've always got to take away 3. And that's the pattern in this case. So to get y, it's x coordinate, take away 3. So the equation for this one would be y equals x, take away 3. Okay, so does the point 16 minus 16 minus 11 line? So take the -16, take away 3, you get -19. So no, it's not. And -19, take away 3, I'm going to get down to -22. Okay. Right, so are these on a straight line? Do they have something in common? These ones, you can hopefully see that all the y coordinates are 1s. So they're going to line a straight line. Here, no. Well, there's nothing in common with all of them. So let's see what's happening. So 0 to 5 plus 5. Does this one plus 5? No, it doesn't. So that means there's no pattern at all for that one, and they're not going to follow in a straight line. So have a look at this one. So there's nothing in common with the numbers. So let's have a look at what you have to do. So add 2, no. Add 2, yes, that works. But then you're adding 5, so it doesn't hold for all of them. So they're not going to be in the straight line. And then this one, you're going to do add 3. No, it doesn't work. So that's the only one at the top there that's got straight in a straight line. Either something has to be the same all the way, or there has to be some sort of connection. Whatever you have to do to go between the numbers has to be the same in each case. That's how you can tell. Okay, so we've got a function machine here, and it adds a number to get x and y, and then it plots the points. So drag the coordinates into the function machine. So I'm going to drag -5 in. Let's start with oops. Okay, so it started with -5, and then it added 2 to get to minus 3. I was going to say let's start with an easier number to work with. So if I drag a 0 in, add 2, you're going to get 2. 0 across and 2 up, there's my point. Let's drag another easy number in. So 1, add 2, gets you 3. 1 across and 3 up gets you there. Let's do one more and then we'll just drag them all in and see what the line looks like. So 2, add 2 makes 4. 2 across and 4 up. You can see they're all falling into a straight line. Let me do it quick. Yeah, let's just put them all in. Okay, so you can see them here, all of them in a straight line. So, like I said, if you can always get from the x to the y by doing the same thing, it's going to be on a straight line. So how do you write this rule? What do you have to do to get to y? Y is going to equal x plus 2. So y equals x plus 2 is going to be our line. Okay, so let's have a look at the next page. Right, so this one, let's find the rule. Y is it more or less than x? So let's have a pick of the coordinates. So we've got 4, 1, no, so it's going to be less. How many less? So 4 down to 1 is going to be 3 less. So that means I'm going to start with my x, and 3 less means take away 3. And that's how we figure it out. Okay, I want to go back and pick another couple of those. I want to just pick another one and do a few more of these because I think these are going to be really useful to practice. So y, let's pick a coordinate. So I pick this one here. So 2, 1 is the coordinate. So it's going to be less. How many less? Well, it's going to be 1 less. So that means y is going to equal x, and then 1 less means take away 1. Okay, do a couple more. So if I pick a coordinate, let's pick this one where it's all nice and positive. 1, 5. So y is going to be more. How many more? 1 up to 5, it's going to be 4 more. So 4 more than x is going to be x plus 4. This is how we figure out these lines. Okay, and one last one. So let's pick this one, nice easy whole numbers. So 3, 1. So that means y is less because it's the second number. 3 down to 1, it's 2 less. So 2 less means x take away 2. Right, so let's move on to the next one. Right, so this is going to be a worded question. The table shows Jodie's height in centimeters as she grew compared to her brother Jonathan. And then we've got all the information, number of months, and Jodie's heights and Jonathan's heights. Write the rule in words for the equation of Jonathan's height in terms of Jodie's height. So this all seems very complicated. Lots of words, big table of numbers, not at all like what we did before. But we've just got to think about what we've been doing before. We have got to just think about how do we get from x to y? Is it the same all the way? So add 7, add 7, add 7, add 7. So that means it's going to be add 7 centimeters, and the equation is going to be y equals x add 7, because that's what you have to do. You've got to get from this number to this number, you've got to add 7. When might Jodie reach 160 centimeters? Well, it seems to be growing 1 centimeter a month, so it's going to be another 7 months on, maybe month 11. When might they reach the same height? Well, if you follow the equation, it would tell you never, because they're always going to be 7 centimeters different. But in reality, at some point, they're going to stop growing, and maybe they will get to be the same height, or maybe they never will. Okay, and this doesn't seem to do anything now. We can't find out the answers, so you just got my description, my words right there. And that's it for today. Now, you might have to go over that a couple of times. It's pretty tricky. Okay, but if you get stuck, then just ask me in the chat, and I'll do my best to help you out. Okay.